This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. The Rolex market doesn't look or function like conventional markets. These days, a significant number of Rolex watches are subject to waiting lists and are notoriously difficult to acquire. On the other hand, according to the theory of supply and demand, this has resulted in many models selling on the second-hand market for higher prices than the manufacturer's suggested retail price. The price of specific models has increased by as much as 2 or even 3 times what the original suggested retail price was. A very peculiar market is created by the fact that a person may go into a Rolex shop, purchase a hot model if they are fortunate and patient, and then go and sell it for a large profit the minute they walk out the door. And it's easy to see why some individuals could be tempted to engage in something so risky in the pursuit of a speedy return on their investment. However, due to this idea, reselling new Rolex watches that you have purchased from an AD or authorized dealer is something that is a delicate matter. Rolex is aggressively trying to prevent individuals from reselling its watches to the best of their ability, and authorized dealers are doing everything they can to assist in this effort. But can Rolex put a ban on your watch? In this video, we will provide an answer to that question as well as explore it. Flippers, or persons who purchase and sell timepieces without intending to use and appreciate them, are an enemy of Rolex and ADs. Clearly stated in the retailer contract, Rolex says that sales must be made directly to the end buyer. Rolex wants to offer timepieces to those who will cherish them for a long time to come. Here's how they determine whether you've sold your watch, and this video goes into great detail. Flipping a watch is a nuisance that people want to minimize as much as possible. Blacklisting is a possible outcome of this. The authorized retailer, not Rolex, is responsible for blacklisting you, not the company itself. A direct-to-consumer company, Rolex does not own any retail locations except one. Because of this, Rolex does not handle direct consumer interaction or sales operations. Rolex ADs are in charge of maintaining customer information and allocating resources independently. Is it possible to get blacklisted by a Rolex authorized dealer? In the modern world, the most typical cause for this is when people discover that you've sold your watch, especially if it's a popular new model. Because each and every Rolex AD is its own business, each store's approach to blacklisting is unique. From the brand viewpoint, if they discover a watch has been flipped, they notify us. Mohammed Siddiqui, CEO of Ahmed Siddiqui & Sons, one of the most prominent luxury watch retailers in UAE and the biggest Rolex reseller in the country, stated in an interview, "We blacklist them if we learn about it," according to Mr. Siddiqui. "They will never be able to purchase a watch from us again." And Ahmed Siddiqui aren't the only ones doing this. Most, if not all, Rolex shops now maintain a blacklist of consumers to whom they would not sell timepieces because they know they have previously purchased timepieces from them. You may be barred from purchasing any watch at all from specific Rolex merchants, regardless of brand. Rolex watches may be banned by some, while others may blacklist you from purchasing the most sought-after models. It's up to the individual Rolex merchants to decide how they want to conduct the blacklist procedure. The company's main objective is to avoid selling watches to persons who want to resell them. Ahmed Siddiqui, however, is the first Rolex store to publicly state this matter. If Rolex detects that a watch has been promoted or sold online, they will inform the authorized Rolex merchant that sold the item. This will occur only if Rolex finds out that this has occurred. We recently disclosed that Rolex has an in-house team that scours the internet and other marketplaces in order to find watches that are currently being sold online. As long as the serial number of the watch is included in the advertising, Rolex will be able to identify the retailer from where the timepiece was purchased and contact that individual. If the ADs are aware of this, it is reasonable for them to anticipate that the store will take some kind of action. The issue is that they do not provide any guidelines on how to handle the situation when it arises. Instead, it is up to each AD to make their own decision. Will Rolex dealers inform you if your name has been put on the Do Not Contact list? It is entirely up to the Rolex AD and the manner in which they handle situations of this kind. Some directors of photography don't give it much thought, while others do. Emails from ADs to customers letting them know they've been informed that the consumer is selling their watch have been made available to us. There are no more Rolex watches they may purchase as a consequence of this. However, only a small percentage of Rolex advertising contacts buyers through email to inform them of such matters. Some 80s will say nothing and simply cease shipping the timepieces you've requested. Blacklisting clients is a touchy subject in several nations. And although we aren't lawyers, it may even be breaking the law. When it comes to blacklisting in nations like these, there is no way for you to find out about it. Instead of speaking out, they'll simply remain quiet and cease sending you wristwatches. What if you really like to sell your Rolex? In light of these matters, selling your Rolex timepiece privately is critical. The serial number of your watch should never be shown on the warranty card or the watch itself, even if you're selling it online. Furthermore, do not reveal the name of the AD where the watch was bought. Don't exhibit the actual receipt, for example, clearly specifying which AD sold the watch. Selling the watch in a different market than your own might also be an option. It is more likely that the future owner will inquire for servicing or authentication at the same merchant that sold it if it is not protected in this way. There you have your luxury watch video for today. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel. Please forward this video to someone if you believe we have been helpful. You can express your gratitude for the dedication and effort we all put into making this video with just one share. This is The Luxury World, and we'll see you next time.